Hey everybody, it's a new year. We're back with SRH Access Facebook Live. I'm Maggie, and we have the honor of being in our volunteer services with our director, Meg Boyd.
Thank you, Meg.
We are so excited because we know that volunteers are a big part of Scottish Rite Hospital, both at our Dallas and Frisco campus. So today we're just going to get an overview of all the programs and just kind of get to know what our volunteers do.
Love it.
So get started. What's the history of some of our volunteering here?
Great, thank you, Maggie. History of volunteering goes back to when the doors opened in 1921. So did our volunteer program.
Wow.
And we had a group of volunteers gathered in what was called a parlor. When was the last time you heard the word parlor?
It's been a while.
Mostly parlors are non-existent now, but the volunteer program has continued to be the same since the doors opened in 1921 till today, 2019.
That's awesome. And such tradition. It's strong.
Huge tradition, very
That's
tradition.
awesome.
Fashions have changed. The style of the uniform has changed.
Okay.
And that has progressed along with our fashion.
I mean, speaking of uniforms, people who come to the hospital know that the people in the red coats, those are our volunteers. So maybe kind of give some background on those uniforms.
So we had a volunteer committee who we said we needed to get away from being called the Pink Ladies Group because there were men who were volunteering, and even though men do like to wear pink, the volunteers decided let's form a committee to see if we can get a color that will represent our program as a unified program. And they love the color red because if you know in our crayon, any time that we have our logo, it's the red crayon. So they wanted to match the logo with the red uniform jacket.
Great, with brand standards.
Yes, thank you.
And the junior, I know we're going to get this, we have a junior volunteer program, but they also wear a uniform, but it's a little bit different, right?
Yes, our junior volunteers like the scrub top look. So they wear a scrub top that looks like red and white stripes.
Okay.
So back in the day, they used to be called candy stripers.
Okay.
They had a different look back then, and we, of course, with fashion, have gotten a little more sophisticated and voted on the scrub top.
Okay, very cool. So in terms of how many volunteers we have on even a daily basis or even as a whole, how many do we have currently?
On our roster currently, the great news is we have about 752 active volunteers.
Oh my gosh.
On a daily basis, we have about 60 that come during the day and the evening, and that does include our Frisco campus up north. And so about 60 volunteers come to serve the patients and the staff in some capacity.
Wow. So let's kind of get into some of the programs. We have the adult program, we have the junior volunteers. So what are the different responsibilities they do throughout the hospital?
Awesome. Our adult program is our largest, obviously. We have 63 departments in the hospital, and our volunteers are in about 60 of them. And that is non-clinical and clinical. And they come in, and once they check in up here in our office, they go to their various department to work in about a 4-hour shift.
Okay.
So a morning shift, an afternoon shift. Sometimes we have that middle of the day shift. But for the most part, they're coming here for about 4 hours, which is a great chunk of time that gets a lot of stuff done. Our junior volunteer program is primarily in the summertime, and we have information sessions that they have to attend first to learn about the program. So mark your calendars if you have a child 14 to 17 who's interested. Every December 1st, they need to sign up for an information session.
Okay.
We are full for this year on our information sessions, unfortunately, but
It's a good thing. Yeah.
And it's a wonderful thing. And so our junior volunteers come in the summer, but we do have some high school junior volunteers that are associated with our local schools, Ursuline, Townview, Jesuit. They come and they have a school year program, Notre Dame School as well.
Awesome.
So it's really cool to see the schools investing in a volunteer program to where they send their junior volunteers here about once or twice a week.
And so I know that we have a lot of volunteers who maybe were patients before or have some kind of connection with that. So do you have any cool stories or anyone that maybe would be kind of cool to highlight for a volunteer?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I'm sure there's plenty.
Yes, we could write a book on all the
one.
stories. It would be a very good one.
Yeah.
Yes, it's amazing that our patients who have been treated here want to give back in some way somehow. And we have a great group of patients who do that. And they get here and they come. And, one story I like to say is Myra Claudio. She has been volunteering here for a long time, I think over 10 years now. And she comes about 3 to 4 times a week. She has to get her own transportation. She's in a wheelchair, but gets her own transportation. She arrives here on her own, knows how to independently do what she needs to do every day, and she works on our appointment desk. And the neat thing is she helps check in once the patients have checked in at the appointment desk, is she will then escort them back to where they need to go to their outpatient clinic.
That's wonderful.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
And she knows the ropes, and then how inspiring to see, I was a patient here, I can show you the way, but I'm also not letting my differences
Right.
impact how I do my life.
That's awesome.
Which is
Very
great.
cool. So talking about when you're becoming a volunteer, I mean, can they request, maybe they're interested in being a certain department or a certain area that they're familiar with? Is that something that they can, is part of the application process, or?
Yes, so once you go to our website or physically pick up an application and complete the paperwork part of it, then we call you in for an interview. And that interview is where we get to know you, understand a little bit about what you're interested in doing, your background. We have people who have been in oil and gas. We've had people who've been executives, lawyers, real estate, bankers, teachers who say they want to do something.
Yeah.
But they might, the neat thing about our department is we have 63 areas in the hospital that you can volunteer, and we will match them with their strengths and their talents.
Oh, wonderful.
And so I have people who work in our gift shop who've been in retail their whole life, and that's all they know, but that's what they want to go to.
Yeah.
And we had a volunteer who was here for about 20 years. He has since passed on, but he worked for Neiman Marcus for 50 years.
Oh
and
my
when
gosh.
he retired at age 70, he came in for an interview, and he's like, well, I love retail. I
Yeah.
still want to work in retail. And so he worked in our gift shop for 22 years.
Oh my gosh, that
up into his
expertise
90s.
is like definitely what
yes.
you need in,
Yeah.
in the gift shop.
Yeah.
So another cool program is we have like the evening program.
Correct.
For the volunteers. So I know that has a lot to do with our inpatients. So maybe give a little detail on that.
Great. So our evening volunteer program, it doesn't matter if you're a working professional or non-working professional. You can apply to be a part of that. And that program is really for the benefit of the inpatients.
Okay.
Is starting about 6:30, dinner's been done, homework's been done, therapy's been done for the kiddos. And so before they go to bed, most kids don't go to bed at 6:30.
That's true.
They're looking for an outlet. They're looking for something to do. So our evening program, which is awesome, comes in and fulfills that. So we have the evening volunteers. It's great. They come eat dinner together as a group. And then our evening coordinator goes over the schedule and says what's going on. And together they go up, get the patients on the inpatient unit, bring them up to the solarium, and they do fun and games, arts and crafts. They will have huge Uno tournaments.
Oh, gosh,
They
that's
will
awesome.
smoke you in Uno.
Yeah, that's
And do a lot of fun activities. And our evening coordinator's done an excellent job
So fun.
coordinating all that and making it part of a fun activity. So they do that from about 6:30 to 8.
very cool. So I think another really cool thing is we have this sewing room up here, which I think
Yes.
is kind of a hidden gem that people maybe aren't aware of. So maybe we can
Yes.
kind of walk down there and
Yes.
get some detail on what that is. And
So our sewing room is one of a kind. It is an area where most hospitals do not have this anymore, or most hospitals outsource it, or it's manufactured. This is all made by our team in here, who are using their skills and talents to create all the hospital gowns, all the hospital sheets, all the hospital uniforms. And so what they do is they are very proactive in making sure everything is functional for the hospital. And if we have many special requests that come their way. Physical therapy uses a lot of fabric to create new shorts. Like a patient will come in and has their favorite pair of shorts.
Oh, cool.
But now they have this new apparatus that is on their body to fix their bones. And they want their favorite pair of shorts. So physical therapy will say, we can make that happen. They'll bring it up to the sewing ladies. The sewing ladies will take that favorite pair of shorts, create it to where they can enlarge it, but it still looks like the patient's favorite pair of shorts. So the talent in this room goes deep, and the years of experience is too many to count. And it truly is a hidden gem
my gosh.
that no other hospital to this day, I will go to say that in the country, has a sewing room.
And this is truly a behind the scenes
Yes.
right now on Facebook Live is something
Yes.
like this, because really it's an honor to be able to be back here because
Yes.
it's such a cool part of the hospital.
Yes.
Very cool.
So it's very awesome. And the art of sewing is probably an art that people haven't learned fully.
Yeah.
So if you do want to learn and
Yeah.
you want to become a volunteer, we do have open machines
Wonderful. Very
that
cool.
you could come join
That's awesome.
a part of. So yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess, to wrap up, maybe you can just give a little detail on how to become. I know we kind of touched base on it, but I know you can go to the website or you can come here to fill out a form, but maybe just go through that process one more time. And
Yes, so our volunteer, it's very easy. If you want to get involved, we highly suggest looking at our website first and foremost, read through the details, look at the different programs and opportunities. The key thing about our volunteer program is we're flexible. So depending on your time, your schedule, we will create it to match what your needs are and our needs. But we don't require 100 hours a month. We don't require 10 hours a week. We work best for your schedule and the best needs of the hospital as well. So really look at the website, download an application, come physically get an application. The beauty of it is we're growing. We have the Frisco location as well, where we have a very robust volunteer program up there. But our needs are here at Dallas, so we'd love to have some need for people to come get involved here at our Dallas campus.
That's so great. Well, cool. Well, thank you so much
Thanks,
for joining
Maggie.
and seeing
Yeah.
this part of the hospital. It's very cool.
Well, thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate
well, thank
it.
you. We'll see you guys next time.